Hello and welcome back to my channel. I have done a couple of reviews on notebooks that I'm using over the past couple of weeks. So I thought today I would show you all of the notebooks that I will be using in the year 2020. But before I show you the notebooks I'm going to be using, I thought I'd just have a quick review of the ones I've used during the year of 2019. Now, if you've seen my Leuchtturm review video from a couple of weeks ago, you will know that I have enjoyed using these Leuchtturm B5 soft cover notebooks, and these are really beautifully coloured, larger than A5 notebooks that lay flat and have been absolutely brilliant in terms of sketching out my ideas for essays, for blog posts, for YouTube videos, that sort of thing. I just love the fact that they lay flat and it makes for a very smooth writing experience, as I basically just get on with it and not get distracted by anything here getting in my way, so my hand isn't fighting with the ridge or the spine in the middle of the book. So I really enjoy these notebooks, and I will be using these notebooks in 2020. Not this berry one, that one is full now, but I will continue to use this blue one and this orange one. This one is my YouTube and this one is my non-fiction and my essays, so I'll be continuing to use both. Also this year I have used this notebook, which is my Jules notebook from the clothes shop Jules, which I don't think they do anymore, but it's been such a lovely book for my journal. I have just used it to pretty much plonk any ideas in. This is the notebook I put in my handbag or my bag as I am leaving the house, and it is getting a little bit battered, but it is full of ideas, thoughts, kind of morning page type thing as well, YouTube ideas, essay ideas, novel ideas, any sort of thoughts that I have, I pop them in this notebook. So this has been my 2019 anything goes notebook. I've also been using this one, which is my moleskin hardback, and this I've been using for my novel Burnt Chocolate. It's been useful in terms of outlining and getting thoughts down and a little bit of structure to the whole thing. And finally, this is in terms of my main notebooks. I have used a few others, but these are for my main projects that I've had going on during the year of 2019. And then this one is my Le Mans. It's a hardback A5 gridded notebook, and I've used this for my planning for the first half of 2019. And I started with good intentions of setting everything out like this. This is my YouTube and this is my blog, but I quickly learned that my brain doesn't work like this, and I don't even know if I followed it. Look, I gave up on that midway through January, and then I went back to this sort of format in terms of planning what I wanted to do. I use this side more with a little box where I do the little tick off. That seems to work better for me rather than looking at a month like that. I don't know why. I started writing down the books I've read during 2019, but that quickly dried up as well, not because I forgot to write in here, but purely because I didn't read for quite a while, and whether that was because we were moving house, probably my mind was elsewhere and I just kind of watched YouTube or Netflix or something like that rather than reading, and I'm hoping that's going to change over the next few months. I was a little bit all over the place at the beginning of 2019, and it wasn't till June that I started to get a little bit more focused. I think this was at the same time as YouTube recommended YouTuber called Sarah Cannon, and I found that she did this kind of quarterly review, and she would give herself goals and projects each quarter, so she wouldn't look at the year as a whole. She would break that down into 4 quarters and give herself different goals, projects, and then tasks each quarter. And I thought, wow, this system could really work for me. And I actually did it from June to September, and it made so much difference for me. I suddenly became a lot more focused and I started to achieve a lot more. And then it was the final quarter of the year, so I had a new notebook for that. So they were my notebooks from 2019. Now we have the notebooks that I intend to use at least in the first quarter of 2020. And here they are. There is a lot of blue here. I feel like I need to add in the orange one to give it a little bit more colour. But I will be using this orange one, so that's absolutely fine. So let's talk you through these notebooks. First of all, we have my Le Mans, and this is the one I've been using for the final quarter of 2019, and I'm going to continue using this over the next few months, at least for the first quarter of 2020, and we'll see how I get on and how much I fill. I have started writing down some provisional goals for 2020. I'm still thinking about that, so I will be doing a video on that soon, and I'll be talking about what my goals are, what my projects are, and how I'm going to divide them up into little tasks. So this is my 2020 creative planning notebook, and this is a Le Mans gridded with a brown hardcover. And speaking of Le Mans, I did a review of the Le Mans notebook last week, and this is the blue version, and this is also a lined version as well. Again, like the Leuchtturm, it lies flat, and this is another one of the reasons why I enjoy the Le Mans so much, because if you are using a ruler, for example, to plan out things, and I bet I can't find an example now. Here you go. You're not bumping into the spine as you're doing it. So this one, I intend to use this as my everyday journal, the one that I throw in my handbag, and I write down pretty much anything that occurs to me that needs writing down. And this is going to replace this one. Basically, before this one actually starts falling apart, which, you know, it's starting to happen. So this is going to replace my little dog journal. And then the Rhodia Goal Book. This is a lovely hardback notebook with an orange elasticated strap and an orange pen holder here, whereas the Le Mans one, it has the pen holder on the spine here. The Rhodia has it just on the opening just here, and I love the inside of this notebook. Isn't it absolutely beautiful? In the blue and the orange together is just stunning. And this is a dotted notebook. I've said that I'm going to use this one for my planning, but I do like the idea of using this one, and I like the fact that at the front you've got the months divided up like that, and you've also got the months divided up. Let's see if you can see that. So you've got the months across the top. So there's July, August, September, with the dates going down in columns. But then you also have the months without the dates in this format. There we go. And you've also got table of contents as well. And this is something that the Le Mans doesn't have, because the Le Mans is basically a simple notebook. And I think that's how they market themselves. But this one, I did enjoy the dotted notebook of the Le Mans when I first used a Le Mans, and I'm quite keen to get back to the dotted rather than the grid. So yes, I'm still a little bit torn as to what I'm going to use this for, whether I do use this as a kind of bullet journal, planning journal for 2020, and then use my Le Mans for planning things out in more detail, whereas the rodeo will be a kind of list of tasks. I'm not quite sure. This is something I still have to think about, and because my new way of working is kind of still evolving, and I've got my board behind me with all my post-it tasks on, that is working so well, and so having something that works well in conjunction with it is something that I'm still working on. Anyway, something to think about, but I'm definitely going to be using this book next year because it's a beautiful colour. And then I'm also going to be using my Leuchtturm. I've already mentioned this orange one, but I've also bought myself this ice blue Leuchtturm as well for when one of these gets filled in. And I do tend to write in these very quickly because they're just so easy to write in, that it makes everything so fluid, and it encourages fast writing, lots of writing. So as soon as one of those is finished, because like I say, I've also got this darker blue one, and this one is all my non-fiction and my essays, which kind of came to a halt in the middle of 2019, but it's all starting again, and I've been doing lots of work in here in the last couple of weeks or so, and planning things out. So yes, I think it's not going to be long until I start using the ice blue one as well. And then finally we have this brand new notebook, and this is from a British company called Stamford Notebooks, and is one that I thought I would try. I like the fact that it was a British company. I just felt that it would be nice to support someone more local. And this is, again, it's a hardback notebook. It is, if we look at the size comparison, it's slightly smaller than a B5 softcover Leuchtturm, but it's also slightly bigger than the A5 notebook. This is a bold and bright woven cloth notebook in sunshine yellow, and the size is actually a Crown Quarto notebook, and that is 17 centimetres across by 23.5 centimetres up. And you can get it in a range of sizes and a range of colours. So let's have a look at this notebook. It's kind of got a brown, sort of burnt orange elasticated strap, and it's also got a ribbon bookmark just here as well. And And we open it up, and there it says the Stamford Notebook Company, handbound in Stamford, England, and their website is stamfordnotebooks.co.uk, which is just down here. And this isn't sponsored, by the way. This is me just wanting to support a fairly local business. And inside I've gone for the lined option, and the pages are just really, really smooth. Now, the one thing I would say about this notebook, it doesn't lie flat like the Leuchtturm and the Le Mans, but that's okay. I am going to use this. This is when I did a pen test at the back for my IGTV, just to see what the leakage was like, or the shadowing was like on the other page. So the top, can you just see that? I'll just get you in focus. The top line is Lamy, and that line there is my Pilot pen. So when I hold it up to my camera lights, you can see it more. But obviously that's a little bit an unfair way of showing you, but that's probably a more real life comparison there. So yes, I'm going to use this one. I think this is the intention of using this one by the side of my bed, and kind of using it not as morning pages but as an evening pages thing, and just emptying my head of ideas and thoughts and dreams and wishes and all that sort of thing before I go to bed. So yes, it's currently living by the side of my bed, but I feel a little bit weird about starting it, and I feel this is a very special notebook. I just think it's so beautiful. So I am a bit scared about starting it, and I think a lot of you might understand that. So maybe it's something that I will start on New Year's Eve, as I think about all of my dreams and wishes and ideas and plans for the year ahead, or not necessarily on New Year's Eve, but in the week beforehand, you know, between Christmas and New Year, when it's that quiet time, and that's when I have time to reflect on what I would like to do properly during the year of 2020. So yeah, that's possibly when I will start writing in here with my evening pages rather than my morning pages. So that is it. That is all the notebooks that I will be using at the beginning of 2020, as well as some of my ones from 2019 that I am continuing to use. And we have this one as well. A nice bright array of notebooks there. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to click on the subscribe, and I will see you very soon for another video. In the next couple of weeks, I am going to start talking all about my goals and plans and projects for 2020 in terms of my writing and other creative projects. So if you're interested in a good planning video, then do click on that subscribe button and you will be the first to see it. So thank you very much, and I will see you next time. Bye for now. Bye.